Turn our attention to Ohio State, Notre Dame for the national championship game Monday night. Lance Reisland, we've got 3 keys for the Buckeyes to win that national championship game. Number one, you start with you have to stop the run. So take us through that and the thoughts here.
Well, last year they had some success against Ohio State. So this is simply like a duo concept where they're just getting big double teams and they're getting vertical movement and they're moving Ohio State off the ball. The next run you're going to see is a counter where they're going to gap block on the right side and bring the guys around and they get to the edge. Now, what they did against Michigan and what they've had some success against teams that are successful with this power run game is they get that 8th guy in the box right there where I circled. And that's kind of clogging it up. Now, what the Buckeyes have really struggled with and what Notre Dame is banking on, I guarantee, is that Ohio State has struggled with Michigan, Notre Dame, these teams that say, I don't care how many people you put in the box, we're going to run the football. That's who we are. That's our identity. So the Buckeyes have to win, and they have to win on first down so that they can get to that third and long or second long and use those pass rushers. But Notre Dame, make no mistake about it, Notre Dame's going to use the +1 run game with Riley Leonard. They're going to use the power game. They're going to use multiple tight ends. They're going to try to make Ohio State uncomfortable like Michigan has done over the last couple years with that power run game. Ohio State's got to buck up because it's coming, and they've shown they can stop it, but they have not seen a power run game like this since Michigan, so that'll be the challenge.
And to your point, Riley Leonard, a big kid that runs the football in that power run game. You mentioned a +1, so that's something that Ohio State will have to deal with. We really haven't had to deal with it at that level so far. This one's intriguing. Number 2, have to beat man coverage.
Well, Notre Dame, who's here. So last year, you're going to see Mbuka made a good reel on a switch route, and it was really, really well done. Notre Dame, what I like about Notre Dame is just like Ohio State, they stick true to it. Now, here's the way you can beat man. Bring a guy from all the way over. That safety's got to cover him. That's really hard to do. So there's certain things they have to do in man coverage. During the playoff run, they've been doing a good job of bringing these guys across the formation and having those deep safeties have to cover them. And the reason I think Kelly is doing that is because they're playing so deep and they're taking away the deep ball. So if you take away the deep ball, you can't get all the way across the formation. So there's different ways to beat man coverage. But I can guarantee you that Notre Dame's going to run man. They've had a lot of success. They've only given up 165 yards a game passing, second in the nation only to Ohio State. They're going to challenge Buckeyes. Even though as talented as the Buckeyes are, you go with what got you to the dance. So they're going to man coverage. They're going to try to put heavy pressure on Will Howard. They got to get rid of the football. Now, these naked bootlegs where you get guys in the flat, it's a great answer if a team plays man but plays off man. So look for those underneath routes from Smith and Henderson and Buka. These guys coming underneath, catch the ball on the run when the guy's got to come all the way across and cover them in man.
So the thing that man coverage says to me is that Jeremiah Smith could end up having that is a freshman that good luck covering him in man coverage.
Well, it'd be interesting because they have, the thing about Ohio State is Mbuka is going to be a first-round pick. Carnell Tate will probably be a first-round pick the year after. So what they're going to end up doing now, I thought the last game they played, they had a great plan for Jeremiah Smith. They put a safety over top. So even though they're going to be in man coverage, I would not be shocked if they double Jeremiah Smith with that one safety. What that tells you is that they're going to say, we're going to leave our other guys on Mbuka and Carnell Tate by themselves in zero coverage, and we're going to double Jeremiah Smith. Now, that can work because you could take your best corner, put him on Mbuka, and then you could take your second best corner, put him on Jeremiah Smith, and put the safety over top. Now, the thing about the Buckeyes that no one else can do is that Carnell Tate is as good as some ones in the country. So it'll be interesting what they do. They're going to rely on pressure. Notre Dame relies on pressure. That defensive line's got to help the secondary out. It's worked all year for them. This is a different animal who they're playing this week in the Buckeyes, however, with their passing game.
All right, so number 3, you have be Ohio State. Don't overthink it.
Well, as coaches, we often do a lot. So this is a freshman going in. He's going to down block on a kid from Tennessee and just throw him to the ground. Then you're going to get Travion Henderson in space who's going to take it, 50, 60 yards. Every time he touches it, I think Henderson, he's just rose on my board. He's so explosive in the hole. If he can stay healthy, he's such a talented kid. Then you have this. You're going to see the corners there, who I circle. That's the read for the quarterback. He leaves. He should throw it to the tight end in the flat. But sometimes you just throw it to your guys. And as an offensive coordinator, we often overthink it, and we design all these plays, and we do all this stuff against odd fronts and even fronts. Sometimes you just throw it to the guy who's better than the other guy. And that's what Ohio State's got to remember as they get into this game. They cannot get into, a phone booth and try to prove how tough they are against Notre Dame. They need to do what they do. Run the ball if Notre Dame's light in the box. Throw the ball if Notre Dame's heavy in the box. That's how they practice. And sometimes, regardless of the look, throw it to number 4. And it sounds fun, but there's certain guys, very few guys at all levels. This is the guy, it doesn't matter who's covering. Just get him the football.
So when you look at a team playing man, that usually means you will have linebackers on running backs. And that's another area. We saw what Travion Henderson can do screen game. So that might be another area where the Buckeyes look to go.
Well, Notre Dame covers okay out of the backfield, but you're absolutely right. That's a very underused aspect. And, Sarkisian does a great job at Texas using his backs. He always has, no matter where he's been. That's a very tough cover for a linebacker. I've always learned from the guys that are much smarter than me coaching offense, linebackers like to tackle. They don't like to cover. Doesn't mean they can't cover. Doesn't mean, it just means they don't like to. And if you can get those guys in space over and over, especially with the talent Ohio State has, they come at you in waves. This is what you thought the Ohio State would be in. The only thing that can get in Ohio State's way is them. If they try to say, you know what, we're going to prove how tough we are. If they do that, they'll be in a dogfight because Notre Dame's pretty good, and they're pretty good in the front on both sides of the ball. They got to do what they do, get the ball on the flanks, make it a track meet. They win a track meet, and they win a track meet easy if they get it there.